The following views and opinions are not those of the BET Cooperative Credit Union Limited or any of their affiliates. Welcome to Making Dollars from Cents. Another day, another dollar, another episode. I am your host, Shanelle Estwick, and my co-host, Lisa Neblett. Lisa,
hello.
What's going on?
I am doing well. How are you?
I am fantastic. We had like a little week to take a little breather. What do you do for that week? Lisa?
I celebrated my birthday. Thank you very much.
Wait, oh shoot. Now you see, I want to know, right? That I had so many shocking revelations about Lisa on this podcast. So when was your birthday, Lisa?
Friday the 13th. I celebrate my birthday in a little way, and I'm just thankful for life. That's the biggest thing for me. So, in celebrating my birthday this year, I really was just like, you know what? I'm just thankful. So nothing, obviously you're not going to do anything big because we're in the middle of a pandemic. Yeah, I know. But I did do something, and I want to encourage persons out there who are listening. Every month, take a few dollars. Rather than putting it into a bill, putting it into a responsibility, take it and enjoy life.
Lisa, you telling people don't pay the bills?
I didn't tell you. No, I'm serious. No, because we sit down, but realistically, right? Yes, you have to pay bills. Yes, we all know that. But if you were continuously just to pay bills, you will eventually break down and enjoy your life. Yeah. Go and look at the sea. Go for a drive on the gas gone up. So literally, I have to take the few coppers that you have. But take a little drive in the countryside. Go to a restaurant. Do something.
Dedicate some of your funds to
you.
To you. Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. For me, the country drive thing, that's me.
Yeah, where you go, people will speak, but I always remember sitting down a Sunday afternoon. Do not judge me. I like to watch Snap, but when it was Oxygen channel, I will watch Snap from probably from the time it start till the end. Snap is where women will plot how to kill their husbands and collect the insurance money.
But that's the best thing to go
I
sleep
just said don't. Right. So they would sit, and it wasn't, some of them did it for greed, some did it through abuse. But this particular lady, she had, I can't remember how she did it, but all I remembered was she killed her husband, took the children and the outside man to Barbados on American Airlines. And I only remember the narrator saying, and coming off of American Airlines, traveling from Barbados, I was like, what? She did all of that to enjoy where we live. Mm-hmm. That's where I took away from it. So from then, I always make it a mission to enjoy our island.
It's true. I ain't give a clap for that. Because no, I honestly agree. I feel like if we have so much to offer on this island, and I mean visually, artistically and culturally too, but just the visuals alone.
It is breathtaking.
And we're having such a rough year. 2 years, actually.
Take time.
A rough 2 years. Take time for yourself. Definitely.
Take time for yourself. You have to do it.
Definitely.
And I went to... I have to really give them kudos to Pier 1 and Port St. Charles.
Oh, I love there.
People would say, Port St. Charles ain't really expensive. No, they're not.
No, it's actually
It is not expensive. I'm telling you.
Decent.
I am really serious when I say this. And, a meal there is equivalent to 2 snack boxes. There we go. Let's leave it there.
We don't got snack box at Chicken Barnum's about $20, so... really, truly.
So, and the ambiance, and people think when you say certain areas is not for me. Kingsport.
Every place in Barbados.
Everybody in Barbados is for you, honey. So you really have to go and enjoy it. And I say you don't have to do it big. You can go on the boardwalk. You can take your Sunday meals to the boardwalk and sit down and watch people there. You can go and get a little small ice cream, the one for the truck, and for $2 or $2.50. I'm not too sure how much it costs.
I know what ice cream you eating for $2.50. Cause I sure a lollipop $3.
I don't know, but anywho, but I'm just saying, we can enjoy it. You don't have to spend a whole lot to just enjoy it.
I find a lot of people know, like, their focus is really, like, getting money and trying to, like, pay bills and stuff. And I find that people are finding all sorts of different avenues to trying to get money. And along with, like, joining, meeting turns, up comes, like, the blessing circle. Like, everybody, I don't want to say everybody I know, but I realize that most people, almost like 10 or 20 people, have asked me, have you heard about C9? Have you heard about C11? And the only C9 and C11 I know is the wards down at QEH. So I was like, no, can you please explain? So then in the explanation, like, you would get invited to a Zoom meeting or whatever. And lo and behold, it's a blessing circle or a flower or a mandala. There's there's so many different names to it. And I was trying to do some research on it to find out, like, really, is the blessing circle a blessing or is it a curse? Like that's how I feel. And I know you know quite a bit about it. So this is you actually teaching me and kind of, like, breaking it down for me. Let me know, like, how it's work.
Okay. Well, the thing is about any type of, I think I always call them money movement programs. I really don't deal with the whole, and even if it's a meeting turn, a money movement program, because it is moving money and it's an investment. It has to depend on the platform that you are going on. And before we go forward, we have to go back where this here really come from. This has come as a way for us, when I say us, the African descent, to really be able to help each other. That's where it really originated from, for crowdfunding, for, as I said, money movement programs, to actually help us to help each other. However, some people had taken it to another level of making it into schemes. And mind you, even though we're talking about it, this is the disclaimer we really need to put out there. These things are illegal on the laws of Barbados. I can't remember the exact law, but it is actually illegal. So you still have to be careful in how you're doing these things. When it comes to money movement programs, and people would say the pyramid schemes, the reason why it will be outlawed, anybody looking at it logistically, is that it never has an end. It has a point, and then it always has the base is bigger than the top. So at some point, depending on the platform, people can get burned. But you have to know strategically, because it's like a business. You have to know strategically how you are going in it and how it will actually support you. Now, when you go into it, people say, oh, I just bring 2 people. That's a lie. Maybe just throw it out there. When you first go in, and as some people now have it as the 4 elements of the earth, which is earth, wind, water, and fire.
That confused me just a little bit. Because when somebody was trying to explain to me, it has sounded like an episode of Captain Planet and the Planeteers.
Pretty much.
So, and for those who don't know about Captain Planet and Planeteers, Captain Planet was a superhero. And he had 5 Planeteers: Earth, Fire, Wind, Water, Heart. And when those 5 powers combined, Captain Planet appeared. Continue.
Right. So everybody has the 4 levels before you actually can get blessed. However, as I said, people talk about only bringing 2. It doesn't stop there. In order for you to really fill out, and each board, I don't really call them circles, each board has 15 people on it. Whereas the 1 in the middle, and then the 2 at the sides, and then the 4, which will be categorized. Sorry, let me go again. The 1 in the middle will be categorized as water. The 2 outside of it will be categorized as earth. The 4 would be wind. And the 8 outside now will be categorized as fire. So you have 4 levels to basically go in. So to get your funding. And you are here having a Good one. Let me hear you.
I don't understand. I always laugh at my own jokes because he was like, and he also said it was like Captain Planet because that's what it sounds like. And please understand, in no way am I really making light of it. Well, just a little bit. But I feel like sometimes the money that people really put into these things, they could bring to the credit union. Or they could, like, I have nothing against meeting terms, right? Because to me, that kind of makes sense. If it's 10 of us and we all put $50 a week, everybody gets a turn at $500, right? Which is 10 weeks, and we start over. But then say A to B, I feel like if over 10 weeks, if I had put $50 on my account, and I wanted something to do, because sometimes we use it as a savings plan. Like my mother used to do them, especially when I was going to school. She would always have one like coming up when it's time to buy like school books and school uniforms and stuff. But so it's to be, I feel like if she had went to the credit union, I put down $50 over the next 10 weeks and then just take it back off, it would have kind of worked out the same way. Or better yet, if she put the $50 and had got a back to school loan, and like that was reasonable, you understand, where she could still save the fee and pay the loan, then you know your funds grow as you pay the loan as well. So especially having a slight background in finance, like I feel like sometimes these here are more of a curse than a blessing because some people get burned.
Well, that's where I'm getting to. Now, as you just used a really interesting word called loan. This actually really is a loan. But you are borrowing this money from your community, but then you have to go back into your community and you're basically putting it back in. And that's how it works. And meeting turn is the same thing. You're basically getting a loan without the fine print.
The fine print.
So you now have to, again, understand it's not just you bringing in your two people and calling it there. That's where a lot of people now get burned, and that's when it actually becomes a curse. Because a lot of people then say, oh, bring in your two. No. If you have a group of people that are going to fill up the board, note I said board, of the 15 people, then you know guaranteed, but hey, look, I will then be able to get my funds, my investment back out. But if you're just saying, oh, I'm going to bring in my two, and then your two does nothing, obviously it's going to stick. But as I said before, it is a case where, and that's why they're outlawed, because I know people, when it comes to money, people will be real funny, especially in these times. And you have a case where people are investing money and they don't get their money back out, even if it's in a tiny manner, you know war can start. So that's when it's gonna really be a noise. But as I said, if you have to go with a strategy. And another thing, people would go, oh, I want the full this and I want the full that. I do not agree with that at all. If you can work together with another person, you can split it in 4, you can split it in 8, you can split it in 3. Do that. But don't be, they're putting your last into something that you don't know.
Yeah,
you understand?
Because remember we spoke about this in one of the earlier episodes when they say if it is that you want to take a risk, because in everything that you do is a risk. It is
a risk.
Right? I think that the problem is that people are risking their last.
And it's like the lottery. When you go and play the lottery, you basically risking $2, right?
Yes.
Hoping and praying that something happens for you, right?
Yep.
The money movement programs are the same thing. Only difference are you know the people who are in there. Sometimes you don't know the people who are in there. But again, it depends on the platform that you're in. And you look at the structure of what the people are bringing to you. They have so many out there. So many. You start with 100, you start with 25, you start with $5, you start with $500. There's so many of them. And people get burned because they're told, oh, come, you ain't gonna bring nobody. That's a lie. Come and bring it two. No. If you come with this only bringing your two and your two don't work, it sticks.
It sticks. Right. So like around the time, because you know when we had the first set of lockdowns and stuff, it had surfaced.
Yes.
Right? The FTC came in and was like, look, We investigating.
Fair Trading Commission. It's
Right.
a lot of people don't know who it
Yeah.
is.
And Fair Trade Commission came in. I was like, look, these things ain't legal.
They would be annoyed
Right.
because you got people bringing in and dropping in the last.
Yeah. So then it died down, and then it picked back up. So Eric Lewis had this Facebook status, and they can read it. Eric Lewis said, if 10 people put $100 in an empty hat, which is $1,000, and we're told that they can each get $200 from the money in the hat, then you know it's a scam. Because only 5 people could get $200, correct? Mm-hmm. So 5 people will get $200, and the other 5 nothing but scam, except if the scam is transferable. In other words, if these 5 people who didn't get anything can get 10 people to each put $100, which is $1,000, they can now get their $200 apiece, except now those 10 people can't get back their money because all the money gone. They can only get back their money or any profit if they keep the scam moving. That's what he says. And the thing is that I don't want to call it a scam because sometimes it's working for some people. I know some people that it worked for, and I just hope that if people really are benefiting from it, that they're one, as you say, if it's a money movement program, that they're putting back in money in it to help others, that's one. And 2, with their quote unquote large payouts, that they're actually like paying bills or investing it legitimately.
Well, again,
Right.
It goes, and this goes back to what we were speaking about in our last episode. It goes back to the mindset of the individual. Mm-hmm. Some people see this as a get-rich-quick thing. That's when it's a scam. Mm-hmm. Some people see this as an investment, of which you can say, you know what, I will work with this set of people to do this thing to help the community. And I can tell you countless I can sit on here and tell you both sides of how people get burned. I can tell you the other side of where people got really, truly, I don't really want to use the word blessed. I really don't want to say it. But they really got that, they really have gotten the funds to help in regards to paying bills, paying for getting food, and also to helping people to empower themselves, because it's not just about you when you go into these things. Mm-hmm. People need to understand that when you go into these money movement programs, it's not about you. If you think it's only about you, then you're gonna have an issue that's making a stick. Because again, as I said before, when you have your 2, it doesn't stop there. Mm-hmm. You have to bring in those other people to fill up the board. No, you have either choice when you get your payout. You can say, you know what, I'm gonna sponsor. All right, let's say we use it because you're from me. I'm gonna sponsor you. You now have to work to get that's an opportunity now for you to work and get your funds as well too. And as I said, this is a pre-loan without the fine print of signing anything. And then when you get your funds now, you then put back into the community, or you have the opportunity to sponsor somebody. But it all depends on the platform. They have so many, as I said before, one, that it must be automated. Because they have some that, a person get one money, they say, I'm going to do this thing. And it doesn't work. So and they could understand why the law is against it, because it can get so big and people will get burned if it does not have a structure.
What I don't like about it though, is I don't like the idea of, let me say I was in one and I had to collect my money, right? So I got to collect my money from about 7 or 8 people, right?
7.
Right, from 7 people. So now I have to call you and 6 others to get my money. And I don't like that. Because my thing is, what happens if I call you, Lisa, and you like, who's you? Got my phone, I got no money to give.
Well, again, this goes back to structure.
So that's what I'm saying. I feel like because from my understanding, there are some people who are at the head of the circle, who are the administrators.
There's administration. There are team captains, team assistants, all sorts of different things in this thing.
Sounds like a lot.
No, because at the end of the day, you're dealing with money, and if you are genuinely looking to build something for your community, you have to put proper structure in place.
I
So
agree.
if a person is let's say they are now in their turn to get the funds, they shouldn't feel a way of number one, the team captain is the person who notifies it on the board, and then the people who are actually on the board are known to, okay, fine, you need to call Betty because it's Betty's day to get her funds. And as I said, it's similar to a meeting turn. It's
So
just
then,
a
so then
modern
Betty
day
then
one.
has to come in the group and be like, yeah.
No.
Sorted out.
It's not. Betty will. When Betty has collected, because again, you're a community, and it's not just about money. That way, people can misunderstand this whole thing. It's not just about money, It's actually a community. That money actually goes back into businesses in that community.
Okay.
That money is no spend. Betty no takes her money. Betty wants it. Let's say Betty wants some number. Or better yet, Betty wants a carpenter. There's a carpenter in the community. Betty's gonna use that carpenter. Let's say Betty wants children's school clothes made. There's a seamstress in there too. Let's say Betty needs her hair done. Hairdresser in there. So you have to really, again, know the platform that you're on. It's not just a willy-nilly thing, and that's where people misunderstood it. And it's all about strategy as well too. You put people here, and going back again to what I said in the last episode. People here at the beginning and the end. They may hear the fine print.
Nobody know the middle.
Nobody hear the middle. So the initial stages is put in investment and you get this amount by whatever number. Because mind you, there's some now that have they cut it down. So rather than having the 8 collecting money from 8 people, you're actually collecting money from 4. So it's a whole different way of getting down, getting it sorted out as well.
I guess my mind going too much things that I still. To me,
it's a strategy.
It's a little confusing.
It is,
but even with the meeting turn, as you say, it comes back to the people that in it and their mentality. Because I think like 2019 or so, we had like a meeting turn scandal where people.
I was just going there, and I did nearly kill that poor lady.
Right. So I honestly didn't really follow any story because I kind of sometimes I try not to really fill my mind with because it will get me angry. If it is that it's 10 of us and we paying $50 a week, explain to me why when we get to turn 6, why you would take your money and not put back in any. To me, that is the height of selfishness.
There we go. And I said, and I always say, it is the mind. All of these things, of these things are the mindset of the people.
But when I read the article and she was saying some people has put $2,000 a week. Where are people getting $2,000 a week from?
You'd be so surprised.
I mean,
people don't know because if a person and a guy taught me this on the you say like this is what you would call basically street science. We spoke about it before in going for loans. Now let's say you get a loan from the credit union, you know the interest is not that high versus the bank. We know that. A person can go for a loan, and if you ask where they get $2,000 from, they can get it from a loan. And then they know that money is going to flip over. From that $2,000 is going to flip over to 10. So me giving you back a small interest on that $2,000 is nothing because at the end of the day, I still have 7.
Oh,
you understand? So that's how it works. So you are literally, I would call it at the beginning, money movement programs. All of them, even inside of the banks. When you put your money in a savings account, when they lend out money, isn't it not moving money?
Yes, of course it is.
Good. And all of it is a risk, right?
Moving money.
Exactly. So
but that's what I'm saying. Everything that we do is a risk.
Everything.
Study even Clico, like.
Don't forget it right now.
I'm sorry, that's a real soft spot for me. So, but even in that, insurance is a risk. Everything is a risk.
Everything is a risk, yeah.
But I just feel like sometimes, not that I don't empathize with people who would have lost out, but I feel like when you on these social media sites blocking and carrying on about how you get this body this money and you ain't getting it and this and that. Like, let me not say I don't feel bad, but you know what? I don't feel bad because it's a risk. Why would you take up all of this money and give to a complete stranger
hoping and praying something happens. But
that you get $21,000.
But it's the same thing. You go to the lottery and you put in $2, hoping.
Yeah,
and
but
pray.
$2 versus how much it is that is put in these.
In these times, $2 is a lot of money here. Let me be very frank. So don't think.
Look, right now $2 can't even buy a Coke.
Well, it can buy back
a small Coke, like
it can buy back ramen though.
True, I don't eat ramen though. So
I don't know. I just make sense. I had this conversation. But
honestly,
anyway.
I tell myself I could buy a pack of cheese balls, but
no, it can buy a pack of ramen and probably a carrot. But yeah, it can still do something. Right.
But what I'm saying is the risk. No. It's still a little lower. Yes, it can buy ramen, but that $2 risk
is completely different to when you have
so when you put out $2,000 or
right.
$200.
Right, and that I understand. But as I said, everything comes with a risk. One, everything comes with a strategy. We always look at the beginning and the end. We never sit down and read the fine print. That's the problem.
But you remember we would have had like some other pyramid schemes like Amway and those. I think that even not Amway, Quick Star.
Yes.
Quick Star and all our D.
I remember them.
ASOTs and I think all of them is kind of pyramid schemes to some extent. Even at one point they said Amway was a pyramid scheme. But no, they've taken that away and said that it's actually what we call direct selling. Because you cannot get... So, like, for those who don't know what direct selling is, basically, the manufacturer sends out their goods to third parties. So, like, I'm going to use Coke as an example. You can go to the Coca-Cola factory and buy Coke. But there are distributors who sell Coke, right?
Correct.
And you go to them and buy. That's what direct selling is, right? So, with Amway, what they've done is you actually register as a entrepreneur, like a small business almost, and you sell their products. So they have their own branded weight loss and health stuff, their own beauty stuff, their own cleaning products, personal care. They have everything basically, every category that they sell. And it will be like, so if I log on to Amway and I register, I think it's be like $100 a year or something, $100 US a year. And I register, as you know, I'm in the beauty industry. Okay. I could decide, well, I want to sell their products, right? So now I'm their distributor. I'm the direct seller here, me and whoever else in Barbados selling Amway, right? And you can come to me, you can buy products. And for every product I sell, I think I get some kind of commission, and I think I get points. And let's say I was referred to by you, Lisa. Okay. I think you get a point, or you get some sort of there's an incentive involved,
exactly.
But it's no longer monetary, right? So that's why they pulled them. They kind of it's still to an extent a pyramid scheme, right? But because there's no quote unquote money involved, they're now considered direct sellers. All right.
Yep.
So I could see how, to an extent, it could benefit people, but I still feel like you still got to put a lot of work in it.
All of them.
Everything is right, because everything is work.
But again, going back to what there's a little mantra I always say to myself: don't work hard, work smart. And that's where a lot of people kind of miss these things. So when you're going into these things, you have to literally, but the direct selling, what you were saying, in order to accumulate these points, yes, you have to do a lot of selling, I'm telling you that, to get those points that you're really looking for. So it really does require you now to really go out your box. So an introvert won't really do that well with these things at all,
because they're bomb at you.
Because it really have to be talking to people and what's not. So, and again, with the money movement programs, they go the same way. All of it is basically selling spots and buying spots and what's not, the case may be. But you have to know, and a similar thing with the same meeting terms, you have to know the legitimacy. That's the word. No, it's not. The
You were correct.
That's right. Right. Anywho, you have to say these people are honest enough. So that's the bottom line of it. If they're honest enough to actually deal with money, because some people are they will sell glasses to a person who is visually impaired. You understand? But you have to know if what their motives in it.
I like that you're so politically correct.
I try my best.
I need to really take a leaf over your book. I'm like, so I'm blind.
No. So so what I was saying is that there are some people out there who are very unscrupulous in these things and have an ulterior motive to get whatever they can get. Those are the people you run from. They literally run. But in order for you to pick up who they are, you got to read the fine print. You have to do your research. You know, don't just jump into things. I wouldn't not. And anybody who knows me, I don't knock nothing. I don't knock nobody hustle because that's their thing.
That's their thing, yeah.
God didn't put me on here to judge. He put me on here, down here to empower. That's me. But, like, again, it's just to know what you're getting into. Do not put your last agreeing what you were saying. If you want to see your money grow, put it in the credit union, of course. And you know for sure it is going to grow. It's not going to probably grow as fast as you like.
But as you say, it requires work as well.
Exactly.
You can't just put it there and it can grow.
Exactly.
You have to add something to it.
You have to add something to it. So with the same money movement programs, you have to add something to it. But make sure that it is something that is structured. And that is where the issue comes. Because these things, they don't come about, you know. These things,
No, of course. Because the same meeting turn, you used to call it a susu. And that's actually a West African money movement program.
Right. And they have another one too where it actually loops. So but you again, it's all automated. There's two of them that I know that actually loops that persons were able to get funding per month or so. So it's a lot. It's a lot. But as I say, you have to know the platform. I know a lot of persons because fear kicks in and the first thing you say, oh, it's a scam. All the people in this bear thieves. And then
but yeah, but that's because too they're not. They could be honest, but they're not quote unquote. I think you use the word legitimate because technically, remember, credit unions are cooperatives and they start off as like saving society, which is actually a very similar. It is built on a very similar basis. It's just that we are governed by a body that makes sure we do things legitimately and correct. So I would what I'm going to say, right? If these things are not legal, one. So if you put your money into the chances of being arrested, the chances of losing money,
all at you.
Right? Secondly, county credit union. It is $125 to join the credit union. A $5 entrance fee, $120 to open an account, and save $50 when the week come, when the month come. However you feel to do it, you can do that. We got term deposits that start at 1.1% every 180 days. There's a payout, and you can start with as low as $1,000.
I can attest to that.
Right.
So I'm just looking at
I mean, granted, when you calculate it, it's like, I already got no money. But like the interest obviously will be low on $1,000 and higher the more you invest, right? Which is the same thing as a blessing circle. The lower you invest, the less the payout is, and the more you invest, the higher the payout is. It's just that it takes time. However, you can see your money legitimately grow. If there is an issue with your money, we have a board that you can report to. We have a governing body that you can report to if you feel that your funds are not being we are not being fair with your funds, basically. Right? But we don't have that with the blessing circles. We don't have that with meeting terms. You may have a structure and you may have your team captain and Captain Planet and everybody else. But what I'm saying is, once something is registered and has a proper governing body, you can complain. You have all right to kick out your blouse and skirt.
Okay, I thank God
And-
you were going to that petticoat.
No, I don't even go. I got a new thing
Cat
now.
curlers.
Right. But you look at put a lift your blouse and skirt. I said, well, no, I don't like.
No.
No, but that is just an analogy to show
Yeah.
of being upset. Right. You could do that. You have all rights, as the young people would say, to shell.
Well, again, I agree. I totally agree with it. But as I said, once it is structured, you will get back your money. That I saw very well where people did get back theirs.
Listen.
As I said, some of the other ones I know people shout down, back down, everything. Yes, I know that.
I know of
But-
somebody, right? That say I know somebody that was in a blessing circle, right? And the body went, collect the money and everything, put down some of the money, pay us off some loans, and had some money in the pocket, right? And then about 3 days afterwards, can get a message from a team leader. It wasn't your week to get paid, so you don't gotta bring back the money. Not to sound bad, but
My mouth is on the floor, right?
But-
Like,
but
what?
what?
Like, what? You serious?
I would label that boy Mr. Turn, cause
I am.
like
And again, and why would it happen? Because they obviously didn't have a proper structure. Because the board was not properly updated and they did not do what they're supposed to do. Because it does not work like that. If you are in a particular position, every single last body to see. So how you can seriously
look, I don't know. I
I
can
hope
just
the
go by
person
story
put-
that I
I
hear.
hope the person put
'cause
their phone.
Please know it's hearsay. I could only hear
that
what
didn't
they
make no
say.
sense because you cannot
But
be.
it will mean, but if it is, that's what it is. Really and truly, it shows that it did not have structure.
It didn't have the structure.
and that is the risk that you take when you put your look at this point. I feel like if some people better off keeping the money in a mattress. If it is that
Nice
they don't
with
want to open the more accounts or whatever, because some people I think some people are like, oh my God, credit union account already. I'm just here to say you could belong to more than one credit union.
Yeah, and not only that too. As we are getting older, you have to start looking at retirement plans and insurance plans as well too. So putting on a little bit every single month really does go a long way. I mean, when you really look at money and looking at being comfortable or even investing in cryptocurrency, that's the other thing we need to talk about too.
You put yourself on that one.
It's something we really have to. No, seriously, you have to look at it because these are all steps of way people finding a way to survive.
Yeah, I agree.
All of it is just a way to survive. Because when you're back against the wall and you got debt collectors writing you and calling you and coming at your place and bailiff this and bailiff that, you got children to feed and you don't know, you are literally at wits and you will do anything to try to survive. And that is where people have been pushed in the last 2 years. So I would say I don't knock nobody.
No, I don't knock nobody either, but I
you
also
have to be
feel like
careful.
if you should really reach out to your financial institution of choice and sit down and talk to somebody.
You have
That's what
to.
I think. And stop investing in these unstructured financial movements.
I agree with that one because they have some, as I said before, which really needs to be. People should not even go in them at all. The ones where you have to be building the financing, whereas you start with 100 and a 500 and this, that's foolishness because it is too many people. I definitely really do disagree with that because it is a lot. It's too many people for you to get that full bill and it's going to crash. Because there's too many people that you would need. But if you have, as I said, they have ones that actually loop, like the infinity, like the number 8.
Yes,
They have some that loop and that are automated. I have no issues with that. I've watched them for the last year and they have legitimacy to it. And as I said, it's all part of crowdfunding. There's a difference.
So I know like crowdfunding is like I think it's Caroline, that's crowdfunding. No, that's peer-to-peer lending, sorry. Right? Where obviously you initially put your money in. So let's say I had $20,000. I put my money in and they like basically lend out my money. Right? But the return is ridiculous. because obviously their lending rate may be something like 12%. So which means my return may be as high as maybe 7 or 8%.
Exactly.
Or so. Look into that if you have like additional money laying around.
Exactly.
And that is a legitimate organization, right?
Mm-hmm.
But so let me just to wrap up. Your take is that you think the blessing circle, let me not say blessing circle, but you think that these money movement programs, MMP, you think these money movement programs are a blessing. That's what you're saying.
I can't say all of them, but I can say platforms that are structured and well organized. Once people do what they're supposed to do, yes, it can be. They can be.
It can be a blessing.
They can. So that's my stance. A money movement program or the quote unquote blessing circles can be a blessing, and it also can be a curse, depending on how you, the individual, work it. Because it's all about strategy and also the platform on which you go on. So if somebody out there have one, they want to start one, they don't have a structure, well, yes, you guarantee you something can happen. So I'm literally on the fence with it. I'm not one to tell anybody, don't do this or don't do that. I want to say, listen, use your judgment. Listen to what is out there. Research what is out there first before you go. Take it in your pocket and say going here. And do not go invest in your last. If you know full well you have a whole bundle of bills to start out, don't go put it in your last and say, because my friends say this and my friend. Yeah, one of my friends said mostly go too. Then you get washed off afterwards. But but you understand. So you have to really use your mind to say, okay, is this for me or is it for me or isn't it not for me? And read the fine print. Don't decide at the beginning and the end. Look at the middle to where it's going to how it will get you.
How it will get you to the end.
Mm-hmm.
Well, people, there you have it. Like, Lisa really took over today. And I must say she did a fantastic job because honestly, it's a topic that I don't know a lot about, and she really actually taught me a lot. So maybe in the next episode I'll really weigh in. But I agree with her 100%.
We are not encouraging anybody in regards to breaking the laws of the land.
No, we're not.
We are definitely not. As we said, that's your thing. You do whatever. But understand when we said at the beginning, it is against the law of the land to go into any type of pyramid scheme. That's one. But we're just saying, because it's one of the hot topics that are out there, and we decided, you know what, we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, because the reality of the situation, if we were talking about financial literacy,
we're talking about everything.
We're talking about everything.
Yep.
Right? So and not only that, you also have to, you can't go to just any financial institution with these funds. You can't show up here at BT Credit Union and tell me, I got $21,000 from a Black Sin Circle, because it's illegal. It is illegal, and I have the right to report it.
Well, number one, they make it 21 because as far as they read, they have to go back in to make it
come with less. But that's something. But honestly, anything that you do, make sure it's one, legal.
Yeah, the laws of the land.
Research. Do your research before you do any form of investment whatsoever. So, is it a blessing? Or is a curse?
You choose.
Lisa's on the fence, and
Shanelle already gone cross. Shanelle, you already gone cross.
Captain Planet, he's a hero. I am not going to say where I am on this, because there's a slight bias, so I'm leaning towards curse, but I've seen it work for some people, and
exactly, I've seen it work for some people, and I've seen it really curse some people too. So.
Yeah, exactly. So we are on two different sides of the fence, just a little bit. I think we're actually on the fence, but you leaning left and I leaning right.
Popcorn, honey, I got the popcorn.
Right. So I will say, whatever you do,
be careful.
Be careful.
Make good choices.
Yep. And this is the end of our episode. Thanks for tuning in again.
Bye-bye.
Feel free to. Well, how you get running the people?
Sorry. So, wait, yes. But how can people reach you?
Yes. So you can reach me at news@btcol.com. You can follow us on Instagram at BT Credit Union and on Facebook. Remember, if you have any topics that you think that we should discuss, you can email or message us, slide in our DMs, and let us know what you think. Bye now.
Make good choices.